What's up, everybody? It's your boy Coach Rhodes. Our man Coach Bird's missing today, but welcome to episode 30 of Unscripted Coaches. We missed last week because yours truly was at the beach chilling, and this week we're missing Coach Bird because he's at the beach chilling. So initially we were going to have the original Bird on the show today, but I got to thinking about it, and I just don't think it would do you guys justice if we only had him on. I think it would be much better if we bring Coach Bird and his pops, aka Big Bird, in at the same time. I just think the overall experience will be way better for you guys. So it's going to be a short one today, but I want to drop some content. First of all, a couple things here. Number one, Coach Bird dropped the ball last episode talking about the Major League Baseball All-Star Game. Some of you guys fairly called him out. Did not know it, but it's been some time since the winner of the All-Star Game got home field advantage for their league. Obviously, that was incorrect. And then also, our man Ohtani was not in the All-Star Home Run Derby. So Bird had him in, talking about how he was the favorite and stuff and whatnot. But anyhow, Cal Riley, I think that's his name. Is that right, Pop? Yep, Cal Riley won Home Run Derby. Congratulations.
Put your little money on the Home Run Derby. Take Ohtani. He's got to do something.
I'm picking. Who
you gonna pick? Polar Bear.
I'm picking. What's the guy you keep talking about from Seattle?
The white Raleigh kid.
I'm gonna take him.
I like to see him. I ain't never heard of him.
I'm gonna take him. I don't think Ohtani will do it. I think he's just in there to make a splash. But I think he'll bow out at some point. Just let somebody else take it.
Kind of mad that
to him. Cool story. If you see over my shoulder here, got the ECU baseball poster here. What you can see of it. Cal Raleigh's dad was a one-time assistant coach at East Carolina University. So fun fact for all my Pirate fans out there. And yeah, cool story, man. It was awesome to see somebody with a tie to the university in the Home Run Derby having some success there. Yeah, so that was the All-Star week. Last week, SEC Media Days. To me, it's a fun time. I'm kind of a geek, I guess, when it comes to that kind of stuff. But I really enjoy listening to what the coaches have to say. A lot of times it's tongue-in-cheek, just coach speak, trying to kind of get through it. But one thing that I find very interesting is the more we learn about this rev share deal and just how difficult it's going to become for the NIL stuff to pass, and there was a lot of, basically there's still a lot of uncertainty. And if you listen, I love listening to Lane Kiffin speak. I think he does a good job, and he just calls it what it is. I mean, to me, I like listening to him because I feel like he's one of the most authentic guys you're going to hear. He calls it how he sees it, but he pointed out the fact that some people are going at about it this way, and others are going about it another way, and you don't really know what's what. Some states are trying to block the NIL restrictions, things like that. So still some questions. If my understanding is correct, I've listened to a couple of different shows and different people talk on this topic. I think August 1st is supposed to be like the official, hey, this is when rev share kicks in. And I think I talked about it a while back. Some teams were trying to front load deals with their NILs and get them in before. So next year, especially in basketball, NIL is going to cover these guys because they're trying to get it approved beforehand. And then you're going to see some regression. But one thing that's very obvious, and this is one of the takeaways from Coach Kiffin, you're starting to see some 4- and 5-star guys go to some schools maybe you wouldn't normally see them going to. And Coach Kiffin is saying it's because of the potentially, and more than likely, has something to do with what? Money, right? We talk about it all the time. So my thing is here, I think what he's getting at is, I think we said 22, somewhere around 22 million for the university to give in rev share. So the pay for play model, not the name, image, and likeness, but just, hey, you're going to be the quarterback for Ole Miss. Here's $1 million, or here's $2 million, or whatever. Hey, you're going to be the starting pitcher, the Friday night starter for Ole Miss. Here's $1 million. Well, there's only so many millions to go around when you start doing it that way, right? So high-end talent, like we talked about, they're getting a lot of money in these NIL deals. So if you're trying to continue to do that and pay these players through rev share, there's only so much to go around. So you're going to eat up $20 million pretty quickly if you're paying a guy $1 million a year. You know what I'm saying? Or like a quarterback, getting $2 million a year, whatever that deal looks like. There's only so much to go around. So they're having to be. That's where like the salary cap word's been thrown around some. It's kind of what it is, in a way, I guess. It's just really not clear. And so while initially I thought it was going to bring on some clarity and some stability, I don't know that it's really going to do that, because it's all depending on how universities try to attack it, if that makes sense. But so they're going to run out of money basically, and so now you don't have $1 million to offer an incoming freshman or a recruit, right? So if you want to retain talent that's coming back, and that kid was making $1 million this year, where you're going to have to pay him $1 million again next year. Eventually that money's going to run out. If, this is a big if, and I think this is where the questions come from, if the NIL stuff continues to be held up by the College Sports Commission, okay? And I think the other name is like DeLauder, I'm not sure, DeLauder or something like that. So like these areas could impact it. So it's, it's really interesting what's going to happen. And then another thing is, and this is what's going to get really hairy, if a kid has been promised X amount of dollars, okay? If a kid's been promised X amount of dollars, and once August 1st gets here and this thing kicks in and everything, if it runs the way people think it is, rev share, here's your pot of money, go through it however you want to, the more you give to one player, the more you're taking out of that pot, right? Okay, and then on the side over here, kind of like your side, piece there, it's your NIL money. So if they can't get these NIL deals passed and approved, and they've promised Johnny Smith, $1 million, and they're only able to give him, say, $400,000 out of rev share, and they can't get that other $600,000 out of NIL because it's blocked or it's declined, not approved, then that's $600,000 that kid thought he was going to get. So what's he going to do? Now this is where I hit on it a while back, and I wasn't exactly sure how it was going to happen, but this is where the concept of some holdouts might come into play, right? So what's that going to look like? And I don't know. It's crazy. Okay. Fast forward to this week, you got the ACC media days, and listen, SMU had a great year last year. I don't want to take away from them, but apparently their coach was throwing some shots at the SEC. It is what it is. Okay. The SEC is still the big dog. Okay. And the Big Ten's right there with them, right? And then you got the ACC. And I'm in ACC country, okay? Obviously, we got a player fixing to go play for ACC school. Like, it is what it is, okay? They're not on the same level. And I think one of the things that he kept throwing out was, well, over the past so many years, I think the ACC's won 3 national championships, and the Big Ten's won 3, and then the other ones were from the SEC. And the SEC leads it. I can't remember exactly what those numbers are. Let's be honest, man. Clemson went on a run, okay? They went on a tear. It was pretty much Clemson and then the rest of the ACC. All right? So let's don't pretend like the ACC was great in those years where they were winning national championships. I mean, again, I know it's going to tick some Tar Heel fans off, okay? The game where they thought they got the onside kickback or whatever, and the guy hit them too early. They should have beat Clemson in the ACC championship game.
Right here. Gets the hop. It was mishandled. Ball is still bouncing around. And the Heels have it in midfield. A flag did come in.
I think it's offsides on North Carolina.
Probably would have knocked Clemson out of, potentially could have knocked them out of the playoff picture or the national championship game. That ain't, like, Carolina wasn't going to make it. You know what I'm saying? But it's to me, he needs to chill, okay? Like, go do what you did. The great year, just go repeat it. That's my personal take. Of course, he makes a lot of money, and I'm sure part of that is to excite his fan base and his players, and pump up his brand and his conference. So I guess can't hit on him too much, but that's kind of going on today. Heard Mike Norvell speak a little bit this morning. I don't know. We'll see. I'm not sold on their quarterback. They got the quarterback transfer from Boston College. I don't really know how that's going to work out just yet. I don't see that being a big-time portal pickup, but maybe it will be. I don't know. What else is going on in the world right now? Bill Belichick's up tomorrow, so tune in. Or I guess today he is in it because we're probably going to post this on Thursday. We're recording on Wednesday. So Bill Belichick's up on Thursday. I'm looking forward to listening to him speak. Also, I want to hear Manny Diaz from Duke. I think that's a big one. And if I'm not badly mistaken, I think Dabo speaks tomorrow. And I'm really high on Clemson this year, guys. I know we kind of hit on it a couple episodes ago, but man, I really think this could be a year for Clemson to make noise. And again, I know they're from the ACC, but again, I feel like you got Clemson, SMU, and then the rest of the pack. But I'm really high on Clemson, and I think Dabo. I'm looking forward to hearing what he has to say tomorrow, and Manny Diaz from Duke. He's just an interesting hire to me. And then, of course, Bill Belichick. Anytime you get Belichick in front of a camera, man, there's opportunities for really cool sound bites. So that stuff's really cool to me. And let's see, what else is going on, Pac? You got anything else, man? I feel like there was one more thing. Oh, BYU. BYU quarterback. Man, this is a story that's not getting enough attention, and it's fishy. So I think he got into some trouble. I'm not really sure. But BYU quarterback, he was poised to come back and have another big year. Hits the portal. Well, let me back up. I think it seems like he was kind of distanced from the team, wasn't sure what was going to happen. He's no longer there. This dude transferred out of the portal window, and he's going to be a walk-on. So now let's just get this real clear. He's going to land at Tulane, okay? Famous for the Tulane quarterback leaving and going for Duke for that crazy amount of money back earlier in the offseason. But he's going to Tulane, and it's really, really fishy. I'm curious to see more details coming out about this. Initially, somebody thought that he was a grad transfer, and so that kind of gives him some more leeway for the portal windows. But it certainly seems like this dude left one institution and is now at another institution to play football, and did that transition out of a portal window, which in my thought process would mean that means his transfer would have been illegal and he would have to sit. But I don't know. Story to watch. And yeah, man. So episode 30, Unscripted Coaches. Sorry you had to hear me go on and on and on about my little rant here. But Coach Bird hopefully be back next week, and hopefully we can get Big Bird on the show. Whenever that is, it's going to be a good one. So make sure you tune in. As always, like, subscribe, hit the bell button for us, and hey, share this thing out. Help us get out there a little bit more. We really appreciate you guys. Peace.